words of one of my favorite songs from the group Aerosmith, Damn Straight, back in the saddle again. Hi there, missed ya. 1 minute after the top of the 8 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone, 1 minute after 6 p.m. on the West Coast on this 12th day of April. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Multiple location station in more ways than one. Yours truly, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne, live from Studio One. Welcoming in tag team partner from BR Live, the Imaginary Show on Sundays, Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, brother?
Come on, Eileen, because that's what she's into.
There you go. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Especially, of course, if the girl that they're talking about is under the legal age of consent in her local state.
Over the legal age of consent.
No, they're that's why they're the runners and not the hangers-arounders.
Oh, I thought you were saying you wanted to come on Eileen if she was underage. Like,
no.
Okay. I said, Eddie, we need to end the show right now and have a little talk.
No. For me personally, it's going to be a simple case of 21 and up. I do ID. End of discussion. One thing I've never heard in my life is, "Hello, Mr. Layne. I'm Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC." You know, the show that you've been on a couple of times.
No, but you have heard a lot of, "No, you remind me of my dad."
Actually, uncle is the one I normally get.
The creepy uncle.
Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, through ProWrestlingRadio.net. Live on all fronts, the Beyond Ringside Radio app, tune in, Ustream, all of them up and running, and sometimes we'll figure out exactly what the hell's going on with Shoutcast. Seriously.
That's on you, buddy. That's not I ain't got nothing.
And thank you to everybody who has been patient over the last few days for radio silence. We've had a lot going on, myself in particular. Considering the fact that I am the primary producer right now. We found cause for a day, and hopefully he'll be able to make a steadier comeback in the days to come. It was great hanging out at the C&E studios for WrestleMania.
Also known as Saddam's Spider Hole. Does he still look like one of them ISIS Taliban fellers?
No, we don't. He cut the beard, remember?
Did he?
Yeah.
Good for him.
He went quasi-corporate, kind of like me.
I mean, well, that means, now that he shaved the beard and he's kind of back to non, ISIS-level suspicions. And
there you go.
The CIA to quit bothering me.
Yeah, we no longer exactly have to figure out exactly which convenient story he's coming out of.
Or as I've often said, he looks like an Armenian discount salesman.
Now, to kick things off, we're going to shift gears just a little bit from the normal news and notes that come into play. Kind of like, I'm going to wait a few minutes before, of course, all of the hyperbole about TNA moving into the Shop TNA warehouse, which, of course, is not a bad idea. And according to words that have gotten out, they knew that the move was going to be happening for a while, so it's not like an emergency eviction or something like that. But I'm going to go and throw this one out there, MaBo. I know we have not had a chance to get you on air for opinions as far as what happened with WrestleMania this year. And, of course, the following Raw episodes and SmackDown episode that have followed that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you up for your conceptual ideas on what happened with Mania.
I tell you right now, I don't know what happened with Mania, but I know I just farted and it smells terrible. No, I just tried, Ben & Jerry's has got that new non-dairy ice cream flavors out now.
Okay.
And they use almond milk instead of, I guess, moo cow milk.
Right.
And the only reason why I even tried it was because, for those of you who are in the know, Target has an app called, that's short for application, old people, called Cartwheel, where you can, save percentages. And it was 25% off the new non-dairy flavors. I was like, I'll give it a go. Of course, all they had was either coffee and caramel or Chunky Monkey, and I don't do coffee ice cream, but I enjoy the regular Chunky Monkey, so I was like, well, this would be a good comparison. And for the record, and don't get me wrong, I love Ben & Jerry's ice cream. This tasted like cold, sweet garbage.
Damn.
I mean, it was like, I guess even the chocolate chunks are now non-dairy. What is that? What is it called? Caribou?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess
Carob.
they're using that too.
Carob.
Yeah, Carob. I mean, it was, as far as the Chunky Monkey non-dairy goes, MaBo's going to have to go thumbs down there. So, yeah, and it's also, I'm giving it a thumbs down, and it's trying to come back up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I'm getting those cold vomit burps.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I know. But, back to Mania. Well, we can discuss what I saw. For those who don't know,
did you make it all 5+ hours?
Well, no, Eddie, because for those who know, and for those you know what was going on. For those who don't know, I've had to move for personal reasons. So I've now officially have my own place, like no roommate or anything.
And he's officially out of the Shop TNA warehouse.
And I'm out of the shop. That's why they're moving in. But Sunday was a very hectic day because that was the majority. That was the big push to move everything. But Wi-Fi was still on in the old apartment, so I had Mania going on my iPad, and then the Wi-Fi was up at the new place. So I had it on the television through my PlayStation, and luckily, I literally moved not even one building down. It was one door down.
Oh,
but it was all,
up downstairs?
It was up 3 flights of stairs.
Ouch.
So, apparently someone my size, one, needs to eat more than 2 flour tortillas at 7 o'clock in the morning. And two, apparently drinking just water doesn't help. You have to, I guess, replenish the electrolytes that you're burning through sweating.
Yes.
Even though I did keep constantly full glass of water, both upstairs and downstairs.
Constantly hydrated there.
Huh?
Constantly hydrated.
Oh, constantly hydrated, yes, but you also do have to replace the electrolytes that sweat out that you cannot get in just water.
Right.
So, I started in the wee hours of the morning Sunday, and I'm sure my new neighbors love that. But I would say I stopped because I was able to see, most of Mania, just, running up and downstairs. But I stopped in the old apartment, standing up to watch the women's match. And the next thing I know, around 2:45, 3 a.m., I woke up face first on the floor of the old apartment. Now, keep in mind I did see the end of the women's match, and somehow, even though I didn't see it, I knew Baron Corbin won. I don't know. I guess I heard it in my unconscious state.
There you go.
Even though I did not see it. So yeah, with both the back doors and the front doors of both apartments unlocked, with stuff in both of it, so people could have just stole stuff. Crawled upstairs somehow. Fell asleep for a couple hours, and then woke up at 6 a.m. Uncontrollably vomiting and shaking. Called my boss, told him I wouldn't be in. Still had I had to be out by Sunday, but the apartment people worked with me. They understood. So, yeah, didn't really regain consciousness till sometime after lunch. Finished moving, but I was able to see Raw consciously. So I don't know. I mean, from what I saw of Mania, you know what? Once again, like I've said for the past few years, and I think we said it on the show, I've learned to go in with low expectations, and I'm not sure when did the Hell in a Cell take place before or after the women's?
After.
After. See, I remember seeing the Hell in a Cell too. So apparently because I remember seeing Shane take the big dive off the stage and the carefully hidden wink wink nudge nudge airbag or crash pad under the table.
Mm-hmm.
Nice camera work, dipstick. I'm still not taken away from that from that fall anyway, because that was still a long ways to fall.
Yeah, especially on something that size, because it's not going to give you that much cushion.
No, but so apparently I had an out of body experience, and I knew that Corbin won, and I for some reason saw the Hell in a Cell match, thus proving that we do leave our bodies when we die, apparently. But for some reason, I didn't see any of the Triple H. I didn't see, Stephanie wear her Skeletor mask, or, Roman Reigns punched the ground and his logo appeared. All I could think of was, because I went back and I saw it on the network, that you could get for only $9.99.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul cuts me a check every month just to say it on the show. So, but I can call him Paul. We're friends like that. But,
I thought you were going to say Heyman for a minute there. It's like, I think those checks may actually clear now.
Oh, I'd love to be friends with Paul Heyman. But where's I going with that? So, I did what I didn't see in my post or pre-passing out / post out of body experience. I did go back and watch, on the network. Once again, I went in with low expectations, and pretty much everything exceeded it. The only thing I can legitimately say, and please don't take this as a slight, I really did not pay any attention to the 10 Diva challenge tag, whatever.
I don't think anybody did.
Because, other than Paige
and Natty.
Well, no, let me finish. Other than Paige, there was nobody on the teams that I like. I'm not taking away anything from Natty's wrestling ability, but, and I told somebody this too, and they actually kind of laughed out of him. When Natty cuts a promo, she either sounds like somebody's wife who's constantly bitching, or she sounds like somebody's mom trying to be cool.
Good one.
So, but you see the correlation I'm drawing.
Yes.
She sounds like somebody's quote unquote cool mom. I'm the cool mom. You guys come over. You can have some box wine. No. But like I said, that does not take away from her. I think she's a tremendous hand in the ring. Tremendous. Just, she doesn't need to talk. So, but, overall, I thought everything was really good. Little surprised about the Cena Rock Wyatt family pants off, whatever that was. I don't know. But yeah, once again, I know I passed out, but I know about it because I remember seeing The Rock with a flamethrower. So, I don't know. But yeah, I did see some of that on the I saw that on the network too. Little odd with the Foley, Stone Cold, and HBK coming out to save the New Day / stun Xavier Woods. I don't know. It's like they kind of shoehorned them in just for, I don't know, just maybe for that Mania payday. I don't know. But I will say this: entrance of the night goes to the New Day. Because, Mania is all about the big entrances and the fancy gear and all that stuff. By the way, show of hands, who was legitimately surprised that Zack Ryder won? Come on, seriously. Yeah, seriously. Sure, he lost it the next night. And, God, now that Maurice is back, vomit. But, the big box of bootios, and they actually had big bootios in them. And then the guys came out dressed as Dragon Ball Z characters. And Woods even had his hair done up like Goku or Gohan or any of the Saiyans. I was like, that is genius. They said I did read an interview and they were like, well, Big E really didn't know what Dragon Ball Z was, but when they showed him the costumes, he was all in. So, but yeah, I thought overall I would definitely say this was a really good WrestleMania for it to have had not much, in my opinion, Let me just go ahead and clear that. I do not speak for Eddie or for anybody else on Beyond Ringside or the network. In my opinion, little build-up, very little build-up in most aspects. I think it came off really well. I thought it was really good overall. Like, the matches were good. I thought the big Bootios box and I posted online. I think I tagged you in it too, Eddie. I can't remember.
Yeah, you did.
The ingredients of Bootios. Oh, it's attention to detail like that that makes me, and don't take this the wrong way, people, because I said it last year. It makes me pissed off at the WWE when they came up with the Warrior Award, and then they tried to say that award represents what the Warrior was talking about in his Hall of Fame speech right before he passed away. No. Once again, I say, you go back and watch it. He was talking about that award being for people backstage. And when you see attention to detail like that with the Bootios box, that right there shows me that there does need to be some kind of award created for the production people like that, for the seamstresses that, sometimes have to literally make last-minute alterations. Those poor, ladies, and on occasion there's been a few guys in it. I mean, God, how long was that one timekeeper guy there? With the mustache. Had a little bit of a comb over. I mean, even the Fink. But I think the Fink is in the Hall of Fame. But you see what I'm saying? It's attention to detail like that. So overall, I would say that Mania was really good. I might become, moving on to Raw, I might become, get a little backlash here. We'll become in the minority. I know it's become an expected thing now.
Mm-hmm.
For the Monday night after Raw to be the craziest and wildest night. Okay, that was good last year before. I mean, it's been going on for what was it? New Orleans when they started that?
Kinda.
Because I know it wasn't in Georgia. I know it wasn't the one in. But anyway, I'm getting a little tired of it. To be honest, it's just kind of wearing thin.
Well, I like the fact that they actually tried to embrace and get people ready for the fact that it's Bizarro World the night after Mania on the Monday Night Raw edition after WrestleMania, because they made it a point to bring out the fact people will say and do anything. This is going to be a wild night. And JBL starts going, yeah, they're going to boo people they normally cheer and cheer people they normally boo, expect anything. And we love these people. It's like,
but that's what's kind of starting to make it wear thin, because it was funny. When they're sitting there, doing the European style chants. That's the one thing I love. Like wrestling over in Europe, like the UK and all that, is because they have, they have very creative chants. They have, and not just chants like "Let's go, Tina, Tina Tucks." No, they sit there and they make up lyrics almost on the spot. You know what I'm saying? To go along with the thing. I think my favorite one was last year's when they were, or it might have been a takeover or something. No, it was in the UK. It was in the UK when it was Bailey's match. And they were like, instead of when they're going, hey, hey, Bailey, ooh ah, I want to know, oh, will you be my girl? That was freaking genius. I love that. But now that the WWE's like, yes, haha, do it, it'll be awesome. It's almost like reverse psychology to where they're like, okay, well, now that the WWE thinks it's cool and awesome, let's stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was funny that they tried their best to ignore the wave and the chants and everything. That, to me, was hilarious. It's like, it's like the old Carol Burnett show. Kids, if you don't know what the Carol Burnett show is, go YouTube it.
Yep.
When Harvey Korman and
Tim Conway.
Yes, Tim Conway. Thank you. You know, when they would try their damnedest not to break character, that's what it kind of reminded me of, and that's what made it special and funny. So now it's just kind of it's like, oh look. To me, I mean, I don't even think we were out of the first segment. And you correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody listening wants to go back and watch it on the network, or if you still have it DVR'd, I don't even think we got out of the. It was during the first match. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was first segment per se, but it was first match. I don't think we got out of the first match. And the crowd chanted something, and immediately we're just like, "We are awesome! We are awesome!" I'm like, "No, the show's not even been on the air a half an hour. You're already chanting that you're awesome." No. To me, it seemed like this one was just an excuse for people to be a-holes.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Like, it's lost its charm. It went from... it was like Andrew Dice Clay. It went from, you know, back in the day when he was popular. Kids, if you don't know who Andrew Dice Clay is...
YouTube him.
Yeah. Remember, at one point, it used to be funny and, you know, almost taboo, you know, because of some of the stuff he said.
Right.
Then after a while, it's like, hey, you're not funny anymore. You're just an a-hole. That's what was coming off. But can we just point something out from the night after WrestleMania?
Sure.
From the biggest thing in my world.
Okay.
Enzo and Big Cass.
Oh yeah.
Made it to the Raw. And you know what? Not to also poo-poo on Apollo Crews. He made his debut on the main roster. But yes. And here's the thing is, like, I was still in the process of moving. So, but since you can't get the network, since you can't get Raw live on the network, because if you could do that, then I would drop cable altogether. But
you'd have to get SmackDown too, though.
Huh?
You'd have to get SmackDown too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if we can get Raw and SmackDown live, well, not SmackDown live, but you know, same way they do it on the networks, I would strictly just stick to like Hulu, Netflix, and like the network. You know, but so I just had it on upstairs in the new place where I am now, and I saw the Dudleys Usos rematch, table match, whatever. Dudleys won. All right, we cut to backstage. Kevin Owens jumps Sami Zayn. We go to commercial. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run downstairs, grab some more boxes, a few more things, come back up. Then I come back up, freaking Enzo and Big Cass are in the ring, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? And I only caught part of it. I had to go back and watch it on YouTube, watch the whole promo. But dude, when Enzo told Devon that he would give his lazy eye a job or something to do or whatever he said, I just died laughing. I'm so glad they're on the main roster now. So glad. So glad, Eddie.
Now they've got to find a way to really restock NXT, because with the advent of so many personalities making the main roster move from...
Yeah, I mean, Corbin's officially been called up. They've already confirmed that. Cruz is officially called up. The Vaudevillains, I think they should have kept them down because I'm afraid that they're too, and I guess...
Campy?
Well, not gimmicky. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm afraid they're going to go the route. They're going to go the route of the Ascension. And
that was totally screwed up in a different manner, though. That was seriously.
I know. Yeah. Well, the Ascension were just given, they were. I think honestly, they were. Whoever was in charge of them on the main roster set them up to fail from the start. But I just think that the Vaudevillains, they should have. They are an NXT tag team. I mean, because they're definitely an acquired taste. I mean, but you know what? It could have easily gone the same way with Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but I'm also going to sit back and say this, and don't laugh too hard when I say this. And folks, for those of you who've been listening on a regular basis, you probably know what I'm about to say. Whereas the Vaudevillains would be they are a great team on NXT. I think that they could be equally as great on SmackDown. Roster split, pull the trigger, it's time.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why they're calling up, because you did notice that they are primarily, I say primarily, they've only been on one show, but it seems almost like they're grooming or specifically placing a new tag team on Raw and a new tag team on SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're about to go. I personally like the Vaudevillains. I like that kind of that old throwback.
I like their look. I like their style.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, so I just hope they get a better chance. So, but I want to know about you. We got our wish. The women's title is back.
Yes.
And we talked about it Sunday before Mania, but did you legitimately think Charlotte was gonna win it?
I had no problem with Charlotte winning it. I was kind of hoping that they could flip the script and I wanted it on Becky Lynch. But that's just me. I'm a sucker for a gorgeous redhead. Hello. But by the same token, I've just got to lay this one out there. I think that for as good as the match was, the ending sucked that much more with Flair holding Sasha back.
Man, I was kind of hoping since Snoop did, wrap Sasha to the ring. I was just like, man, I was like, I hope Snoop gets into it with Ric Flair. I was like, I would love to see that. But
yeah, that would have been a beautiful thing. I think Snoop could have pulled it off.
Oh yeah, but I mean, oh man, it's just, I guess it's like saying, when you're hungry or when you're starving and you want a steak and somebody offers you a cheeseburger instead, just be grateful somebody's offering you food.
Yeah, but it depends on where that cheeseburger's from.
Hold on. I correlate that with, for so long, we were like, ugh, divas. Ugh, the name Divas, the Divas title, that's a passé, that's worn out. That's literally, dude, that's spinner belt era, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody, you wanted the belt on Becky Lynch. I want on Becky Lynch. I would have been happy with Becky. I could have seen Sasha pulling it off more. And plus, I think it would just go fabulous with any of her outfits. But, I'm just grateful. And do I care for the look of the belt? Not really. I love the white strap, because at one point, if I'm not mistaken, and I said this the Sunday before or the Sunday of Mania, I swear I want to say at one point they had the black strap women's title. I want to say there was at one point a white strap women's title. I want to say Trish had it. I could be wrong though.
What color was the strap when Medusa dropped it in the trash?
Are you talking about
on Nitro?
Like Nitro? Wasn't it like pink? But it wasn't that same plate. That was a completely different plate.
I know that, but still.
I think it was pinkish, maybe. I don't think it was black. But anyway, like, what's funny is, and I know people might laugh or whatever because I'm bringing it back. But whenever I get the 2K the 2K games, WWE 2K games, and I go off on my own and make my own little companies. If I have any females on the roster and I make a women's title, I take the WWE, not the Divas title, but the old school WWE women's title, and I turn the strap white. And to me, it just, I don't know. It was kind of, because I swear maybe I saw that in the past, that it was a white strap, but just with the old, black, gold, and red faceplate.
Right.
So, but like I said, I guess overall, I can nitpick about who holds the title, or even the fact that it looks like the main title, it just says Women's Champion. But it's the fact now that I'm just grateful, as much as I nitpick about the other stuff, I'm just grateful now that it's back to being called women's wrestling. Yes, I know it's overall wrestling no matter who's doing it. But if you want to break it up into subdivisions, at least with quote-unquote sports entertainment, because, Chikara has shown that, a female not only can a female hold your main title, but two females can compete for your main title.
Right.
And there are other companies that have recently jumped on that same bandwagon. And I say jumped on the same bandwagon not in a bad way, but in a good way. But it's the fact that we first of all, we got rid of that tramp stamp belt and the name of Divas. Now, my only concern is that hopefully if Maurice is back, she sticks to just being a valet manager, because my biggest fear is that they're going to take the women's title and put it on a quote-unquote diva. And I know that sounds bad, and maybe it sounds sexist, or like I'm segregating the ones, but we know which ones are the women's wrestlers.
Right. We've
all established that. Natty, Paige, Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, with that little mole on her face. Ugh. And to some extent, I would even say Tamina and Naomi.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah.
But then you have your divas, the Bellas.
Well, apparently we're another Bella lighter, because it has been made public that Mania was Bree's last match. Bye-bye.
Well, it was, but they said they didn't want to, that whole thing. You're going to find out the quote-unquote reasons and true story on Total Divas next season.
Yay. Do me a favor. We'll follow that up in a second, folks. Going to go to the bottom of the hour break. Want to let everybody know, going to be joined in about 28 minutes by Josh Wheeler from Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment right here on Back to Basics. Stay tuned. This party continues in just a moment.
This is Dale the Demon Torborg, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is the Cried Wrestler fan, the authority Dave Wills. Yes, sir, I mean, you believe me, you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Welcome back into Back to Basics, live on this Tuesday night, 12th day of April. Fast Eddie Layne, Mark MaBo Bowman. Once again, in about 22 minutes from right now, slated to be joined by a good friend of the family, Josh Wheeler from Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, right here on Back to Basics. Got a great wrestling weekend coming up. Road trips, more than likely, in more ways than one. This coming Saturday night, of course, want to remind everybody that the Beyond Ringside family of shows will be well represented this in Carrollton, Georgia, at the VFW Ballroom. Not the fairgrounds main pavilion, but in the ballroom. Going to have a lot of great news on that if you missed Shooter's Gallery last Thursday. Also from that vantage point, this coming Sunday, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment 2800 Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment at 2800 Campbellton Road, Atlanta, Georgia, homegrown from AWE. Going to find out a lot more about that in just a few minutes. Once again, that is both shows this weekend, Saturday the 16th for PWA. Sunday the 17th for AWE. Maybe let's pick it up. We were talking about the women's division and the Bye-Bye Divas title, Hello Women's Belt.
Yeah. Can I just say real quick that a lot of people are lactose intolerant, and they get gas from like having lactose, which is in cheese and milk. I think I'm almond lactose intolerant because now I'm starting to get the bubble gut from that almond milk ice cream. It's
okay.
bad, guys. Oh, it's hurting. So if you hear me wince during the rest of the show, you know why.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just, Nikki's still out because apparently her net game wasn't as strong as she thought she was. Get it, net game, because she's got a collar and penis. And, and Bree will find out, dun, 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 during Total Divas season, who cares about why she's retiring. But, I mean, that's still, like, okay, so obviously Eva Marie, complete diva. I wouldn't even consider a women's wrestler. Who else is there? No offense to Alicia Fox, but I don't think she's still technically more of a diva. But of the divas, I would say she's probably one of the best ones.
She can at least work a passable match.
That's what I'm saying. That's like Kunzi said before. It's like saying you're the tastiest sausage in the can of Vienna sausages. But let's see, who else is like just one of those horrible quote unquote divas? And yeah, I will crap on them. Why? Because it's my God-given right. I mean, that's just like if there's several of the men who wrestle that I'm just like, ugh, like the women wrestle better than you. But yeah, so, like I said, I'm just glad it's back to being called women's wrestling and not divas.
See, I've got to jump in for a second because that's where I've been sitting back saying the entire time, regardless, the TNA Knockouts division has been stronger pre-NXT infusion of Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha.
Oh, dude, I mean
when Velvet Sky can work a better match than half of the so-called divas, not to mention Gail Kim, Madison Rayne, Rebel has come a long way. And of course you've got Marty Bell and Mia Yim as Jade, the current TNA champion, Knockouts champion. I mean, and of course Maria is not in ring talent. She is a manager / valet for Mike Bennett, but they've also got her involved in the Knockouts division.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like there's almost, because we all remember the heyday of the Knockouts. Kong, Kim, Hamada, yes, the beautiful people.
Tracy Brooks, ODB.
Yeah, Tracy Brooks, ODB, Madison Rayne, Sarita and Rosita.
Right.
They had that, just, I mean, you could not argue that division, back in the day. And then it took a pretty bad decline there. But, there is a resurgence going on, and I think that's great. And they've been using more independent talent. Actually, TNA, I don't know if you heard today, Eddie, but NXT, WWE, whatever, just signed 10 new talents. Two that really stood out were the Mighty Don't Kneel of Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols, team out of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people, go look up their stuff. There's a reason why these two guys just got signed. But there was a female that just got signed. For the life of me, I can't think of her name. Shoot.
While you're thinking, I'm also going to sit back and say, remember the Knockouts division is going to get even stronger with the signing of Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, Cherry Bomb was one that got Cherry Bomb and
Pepper Parks.
Obviously, he's not going to be in the Knockouts division.
That's why I was concentrating on the Knockouts division first.
Yeah, but her husband, Pepper Parks.
I just said that.
Who's been a mainstay on independent wrestling for years.
Combat Zone Wrestling, AIW, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. Dang it, I just had it. What was her name that they just signed to NXT? Son of a biscuit.
Do not know.
Okay. I'm sure it'll, you know what? We have this wonderful thing called the internet that I could look it up. Why would I not want to use technology?
There you go. While you're looking that up,
they're definitely having there's
a resurgence,
a renaissance.
Yeah,
huh?
A resurgence, a renaissance. I'll give you both
Yeah,
words.
and I think that's great because between the X division and the knockouts, back in when TNA was making that move from their weekly pay-per-views and on, was it Fox Sports South or Fox Sports or whatever, when they were moving to Spike, that's really what really kept, and then they started doing their big monthly pay-per-views. That's, the knockout division and the X division were where you just sat there and was like, wow, this is not like anything I could see on USA or I guess UPN it was on at the time or whatever.
Or Sci-Fi.
Yeah. Well, no, this was UPN back in the UPN days.
Right.
That you were just like, wow, Nikki Storm out of Scotland. That was who they just signed.
Okay.
Was with ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, Mark Dallas. Yeah, she is great. So and then so it's really good. That's a really good signing for NXT, Nikki Storm. But yeah, I mean, I think it's now. I think it's great that there's this rebirth of the knockouts is coming back around for TNA, Impact, whatever you want to call them. And I think I can see. I don't know really who they would bring in though, or who they would call up, other than Bayley, because you've still got. Well, yeah, Emma's back down in NXT, but she's still doing main roster stuff because I think her and Becky Lynch are about to start like a little mini program. But I mean, you might want to hold on to Bayley as long as you can because
oh hell yeah!
I mean, and taking nothing away from Asuka. By the way, that is a scary young lady.
Yeah. Me likey.
Huh? What was that?
Me likey.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, who else do you really have to solidify? You know what I'm saying? I know they've got Dana Brooke, who looks like she stole, Natty's wardrobe from when she first started. Which, can we just say, why is Natty dressing like a cross between a dominatrix and a Pomeranian?
Still trying to figure that one out.
What's up with that hair? She's just no, Natty, just no. But I mean, they have some great women down there right now. I don't know if I don't think she's officially signed, but Deanna Peraza.
Yeah,
I could never pronounce it.
Peraza.
That was from up in NYC and all that stuff. She's great. Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce is another one. Peyton Royce and Allison Kay. I think it was Allison Kay. Yeah. I mean, they're great, but I don't think they're almost there to where they could shoulder the women's division, but not quite. So they might want to hold on to Bayley for a while. So I don't know where I was going with that. I just started rambling. But
I noticed.
We've got the Divas Revolution. Not the Divas. Well, can they even call it the Divas Revolution anymore?
Nope, it's the Women's Revolution.
Well, you know what? I'm glad we've got the Women's Revolution. Or the Women's Resurrection. I'm going to say we've got Women's Resurrection on the main roster for the WWE, and then you've got the Knockouts Renaissance or Resurgence in TNA. So you know what? If you're a fan of women's wrestling, and I don't see why you shouldn't be or you wouldn't be, check out Shimmer, check out Shine, check out Sparkle, WSU, and All Points in Between. Girls Night Out coming out of AIW. Check all that stuff out. And you know what? If you were ever on the fence of women's wrestling, start now. This is like when the comic book companies for the
reset, the new 52.
Huh?
The new 52.
No, the new 52 is dead. Now they've smushed the old DC Universe and the new 52 together, and Marvel's about to relaunch too. So, if you follow comic books at all, and they're like, if if you're wanting to get into this title, if you're wanting to get into comic books, now's the time. Now's a good jumping off point. Everybody's, relaunching or retconning or whatever. That now's the time to do that with women's wrestling. You've got like I said, you've got the resurrection in TNA or in WWE. You've got the resurgence and the rebirth, the renaissance in TNA. And then, like I said, I encourage you, check out Shimmer and Shine and WSU and anybody else that's running a, legitimate, not this apartment house stuff, not the Jello, Wrestling Federation, although that's pretty cool. Enjoy it. Get on the ground level, enjoy it, and be happy.
Yeah, there's a good jumping on point right now, especially all the way across the board. Especially all the way across the board to get to work on that concept. But from that vantage point, like I say, and I agree wholeheartedly, I've been on board when TNA made the move to Pop TV. They've done a great job. For everybody who is still pissing and moaning about TNA, have you watched it lately? Look, and I've got to sit back and say this. They've done something with Impact Wrestling that nobody else has been able to do, and that's actually get Matt Hardy in a damn suit as champion. I mean, it's like, I'm good to go with that. I'm on board. Bless you, my child.
Thank you. I thought I had the phone covered up. I guess it slipped when I sneezed. So you mean he's not wearing the bow-legged pajama pants anymore?
Only when he's in ring.
No. Okay.
I mean, and I'm also going to go and sit back and say this, segueing real quick. I mean, there's some great companies out there, and I'm going to be running down a full list a little bit later on. Found out Josh is going to be hanging tough for about 30 minutes, and then I'll be able to come back for Seg 4 or the fourth segment of the program. And like I said, there's some stuff going on that in this week, and in the upcoming weeks, definitely worth keeping your eyes on. In all the way across the lower 48, going up to Canada, British Columbia, the UK, all of the above. So there's a lot of good things happening. So, and once again, I'm just going to sit back and say this. I said it a second ago, and I'm not above repeating myself. For everybody who's been still pissing and moaning about TNA, it's like, when's the last time you watched it? Have you watched it since it's been on Pop? If you haven't, shut up about it. I'm serious. I mean, legit. Oh man, when's the last time? Oh, once you back on Spike, it's like, well, you've already missed 2 networks, dude. I mean, your argument only holds so much water over a certain period of time. Speaking of time, isn't it time for Beyond to have another alternative?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh my God, DJ Z looks like a damn dork.
When does he not look like a dork?
No, with his new headset.
But I mean, I kind of want to get your opinion on the call-ups that we have had. By the way, I do like. Did you catch Raw last night, or had a chance to catch it?
I caught some of it.
Did you catch the Enzo Cass Dudley's confrontation?
No, not last night's.
Oh, I think, like I said, goodness, paraphrasing here, but Enzo and Cass were on the stage, and the Dudleys were talking about, if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for us, none of you would be. You're talking about tag teams and all that, and when Enzo and Cass came out, Enzo was like, he was like, instead of, he looked at Devon, he was like, easy, Devin, easy. But then he goes, Bubba was like, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be here. And Enzo goes, he didn't even shout it. He just kind of, just like he was just having a normal one-on-one conversation. He goes, well, actually, if it wasn't for my parents getting it on, I wouldn't be here. How you doing? And I about lost my mind.
That was funny.
Because it wasn't like he didn't do the like the loud, gruff speak like he was doing. It was literally just like, one for my mom and dad. That's why I wouldn't be here. So, but I mean, what do you think about the call-ups or the permanent additions? You got, we'll throw them out there. If I miss one, remind me. But go start off. Sami Zayn, opinions.
Oh, hell yeah.
Should he be there? Is he going to have staying power?
Yes, and keep him healthy.
Huh?
Yes, and keep him healthy, by God.
And okay, did you catch the AJ Sami Zayn match?
No, I did not.
Okay, definitely check it out. I mean, the staunchest sports entertainment fan would have loved to see.
I saw most of it. Most of it, and I liked what I saw.
Okay, throwing out there Enzo and Big Cass.
I'm glad they're up on the main roster. I just hope they handle them properly.
Okay. Apollo Crews.
Very happy to see him on there.
You think? I mean, yes, he's quick. Yes, he's got a great build and he's strong. A little on the short side, though. How do you think they're gonna? Well, I know, but I mean, just like, do you think that'll hinder him?
No, not in this case, because I think he's got other intangibles and tangibles that would definitely keep him near the top of the list.
Okay, Vaudevillains.
Like I said, I'm very guardedly optimistic. I think that properly handled, the Vaudevillains are going to be a great addition to the roster. I think that they would be a very viable SmackDown commodity to get people to watch the blue brand that much more.
All right. Winner of the 2016 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin.
I'm really skittish about him because I keep hearing different reports over the last 6 months as it pertains to different mindsets and attitudes that Corbin has had while down at NXT. So once again, I'm optimistic that if he is, I think that he's going to be able to be a good addition to the roster. I just have to wonder right now as it stands, how durable he's going to be.
Now, what do you mean by durable?
It's really kind of a hard animal to call, and I'm being honest about that, because...
Now, when you say durable, do you mean physically, be able to physically stay healthy?
Yes, physically durable as well as character-wise durable. Will they be able to keep interest in Baron Corbin on the main roster? That's my question.
Well, I mean, physically, I don't think there's going to be a problem. I mean, he's held up pretty well over the past, 2-3 years in NXT. So.
Right. Big difference between NXT and the main roster, though.
Well, no, I agree because it's a much more grueling schedule. But if you think about it, think about who showed up and think about who we've read over the past year of being on the road with either doing dark matches or doing house shows. Baron Corbin. All right, technically, Tyler Breeze was sometime last year, but remember they kept bringing Tyler Breeze on the road with him, which I've renamed him Ziggler 2.0.
Yeah.
But I remember Enzo and Big Cass have been almost a full year of Enzo and Big Cass doing house shows and dark matches. Same thing with the Vaudevillains. So I think Corbin's, I think the physical durability will hold up. Like you said, though, the keeping him fresh, keeping the characteristic durability.
Right.
I have to agree with you. And finally, we'll throw it out there. You ready?
Yeah.
Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson.
I think that they need a good run in NXT before they try to come up to the main roster, and in this case, I would actually make them a SmackDown brand.
Okay, well, you do know they were on last night.
No, I didn't see. Like I said, I've had a lot going on in the last 96 hours.
No, I just didn't know. I didn't know if a certain person might have messaged you and was like, "Hey, Doc Gallows, and hey, global, yeah, too sweet." So, but yeah, they showed up at the end of the Usos were in a tournament match. We'll get the Social Outcast. Usos won, and next thing you know. Like, I had literally turned my back for a second, heard a commotion, turned back around, and Gallows and Anderson were beating the living hell out of the Usos. They hit the Magic Killer on one, and then I kind of worried. I mean, I hadn't seen any kind of reports, but they took the other one. I couldn't see which one was which. Threw him into the corner of the guardrails, the black mats, and it looked like he came very close to hitting his face. It looked like he jammed his shoulder pretty hard, and then they turned around and flipped him and threw him on the other shoulder into the ring steps. And then, they were like, cleaning up the whole, just angry, just rah, whatever, and then they were like told to leave, and they're like, all right, we'll go. But they were calling, they never said Bullet Club, though. They never said Bullet Club, but they did say Anderson and Gallows, or Doc and Carl Anderson, or Doc and Anderson. So, they officially made their debut on the roster last night. Some people are saying maybe they either jumped, they knocked the Usos out of...
And on that note, folks, tell you what, gonna go, Mark, if you can hear me, I'll catch you in text message. I've got to go to the top of the hour break. Folks, hang tight. Don't forget, well, I'm not going to give out the Twitter because he threatened to kill me last time I gave out his Twitter address. Gonna go to the top of the hour break. When Back to Basics returns, gonna be joined by a good friend of the family, Josh Wheeler from Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. Hang on. This is Back to Basics on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy Rave, and you're listening to the only Jimmy Rave approved radio show. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.